Hey, no, guys. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, you guys seen the title and you clicked on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the like button. Shout out to Fight Hype. They conducted the interview with Gennady Golovkin, 4-belt holder, middleweight, super champion, WBA champion, IBF champion. He has all the belts damn near, except for Billy Joe Saunders and Danny Jacobs' regular belt. And March 18th, he gets a shot to consolidate that WBA regular belt and say, I'm the only WBA champion should he beat Danny Jacobs. Now, he's opening up as the favorite, and in the Fight Hype interview, Golovkin is very short, so again, link in the description so you guys could check it out. He said something, and I'm super surprised that nobody's really even talking about what Golovkin said. He was, first of all, being respectful of Danny Jacobs, but as you guys seen in the title, he was asked basically, have you ever been hurt in a fight? Rumor has it, or urban legend, tall tale, you never been hurt or dropped in sparring or anything, amateur career, or clearly in your pro career, have you ever been hurt? And he says, no, I've never been hurt. And he also credits his parents and God. I think, I like Golovkin. He said, thank you, God. I think he thanked God, and he says he just thanks his genetics and his parents and God. He's just been blessed with a chin. So, like I said, I'm surprised no one's even talking about this. This was really interesting to me because Danny Jacobs is a guy who, he's underdog, but he has power. I mean, anybody who dispatches of Peter Quillen in that fashion in one round, pretty impressive. And this is another champion. Obviously, is not recognized as the real champion, if you will, in the division because boxing has too many belts. But it's very interesting to me because he's about to fight the biggest puncher and a guy who actually has a height advantage. Like, I was already really looking forward to this fight and anticipating it, but even more so now after hearing him say that, because at first, I'm just going to break it down. We're going to have a little talk. This is not a prediction video either. I will drop a 7 reasons for this fight because I'm looking forward to it. But this is, I'm just my thoughts. When he said that, at first he was like, damn, I've never been hurt, never been dropped, no nothing. Thank you to my parents and genetics. I'm like, wow, that's badass. And then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know how good that is. And obviously it's good because you're still undefeated. But the question why I said I'm really looking forward to this fight is because, in my opinion, this is the first fight with a guy with a couple different attributes to possibly make it interesting. And Golovkin, his division, I've said this for a while, is limited in the talent pool. I would not liken the division with the heavyweight division or 154 or welterweight. These are all popping divisions. Or even 130 looks pretty popping. 130, you got Tank Davis, who just became a champion, looked really good. Jason Sosa. You got Nicholas Walters, and of course, the top of the totem pole, Vasily Lomachenko, right? Even 135, you got Mikey Garcia, Jorge Linares, Anthony Corolla, Dehans Latisinen, and then you also have Robert Easter Jr. So it's unlike when Broner or Terrence Crawford were at 135, they beat a couple people and then there was really no name, so they moved up and pursued bigger opportunities at a higher weight, right? So middleweight to me is not like that. We have Gennady Golovkin, and then you got everybody else. In fact, to add to my point, that's why we have Curtis Stevens, and this is no shade. This is just kind of what it is from what I've seen. That's why you have two people that Triple G beat and stopped in the same round in the same venue that he's fighting Danny Jacobs, and that's Madison Square Garden. He stopped them both, I believe, in the 9th round, if I'm not mistaken, 8th or 9th, and they're now fighting in their own fight as a main event on HBO. It's Boxing After Dark. Luckily, it's not like a pay-per-view. And that should be a fun fight. And people are looking forward to that fight. So to me, that's kind of how his division is. It's the way it's set up. It was Golovkin, and then just probably a tier below, you would have like Peter Quillen and Danny Jacobs. But then Danny Jacobs beat Peter Quillen. And then it's like everybody else. So without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, I've been telling you guys, Golovkin is the #1 middleweight. and Jacobs is the number 2. Period. And Paulie Malignaggi, I seen an interview where he corroborated that and said the same thing. So by far, this is the best fight at middleweight. Even Billy Joe Saunders, like at one point you could say him, but he fought Andy Lee and then took like a year off, was getting hurt, clearly ducked Golovkin, didn't want to fight Golovkin, and then when Golovkin got a fight, then he jumps bad on Twitter, like, oh yeah, I want a couple things me way, and he needs to come to the UK, and like, no, you've had your opportunity. You don't wait till a man has a fight to declare you want to fight him. So that's that. Plus, he didn't look good when he fought Wolverine in his last fight. Hey, Berserker Barrage! So he's kind of out of the picture. Even though he's a champion, if anyone has a shot to beat Triple G out of the middleweight picture, to me, it has to be Danny Jacobs. That's the only person. I mean, unless Canelo moves up and, you know what I mean, he has his own fight with Chavez Jr. But that's just the way I see it based on the skill. So to me, this is very interesting because for the first time, I'm seeing somebody with at least a couple of different attributes that you could say, okay, he's equal or greater in this department than Triple G. And I'm being honest with you guys. I haven't really seen that. It's like when Ronda Rousey's early competition, right? When she was fighting, before she started fighting, obviously the girls that beat her, Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes, she was fighting girls who you could tell, even going into the fight, they were a class below her. You know what I mean? Girls that had several losses, knockout losses, things like that. And she was in her prime or whatever, had momentum. That's kind of how it is with Golovkin. There has not been one person that me personally, I thought had a chance to beat him, right? Even Peter Quillin, the reason I wanted to see that fight is just because he has a tremendous amount of power. And I know people, my dude Aaron sparred him, and Aaron's pretty slick in there. And he said Peter Quillin knocked the hole out of my gas tank. He said he was doing real good in the sparring. In the very last round, he said Peter Quillin hit me into the body so fucking hard. And he was like, man, I barely made it out of that sparring just off of that. But he had been doing good all the way up there. The link, I might put the video at the end of this video, but that's my point. That's why I wanted to see that particular fight. But now he's been, Peter Quillin, shout out to my dude Kid Chocolate, he's been kind of MIA and he might move up. He's been on long layoff since Danny Jacobs. So this is the number 1 fight. Shout out to Golovkin and shout out to Jacobs. This got more interesting to me. But to further the discussion, and like I said, I'm really surprised no one's mentioning this. Maybe it just flew below the radar. There's a lot happening in boxing. Joshua Klitschko selling 80,000 plus tickets. But you know me on Boxing Ego, I try to get to everything. But the reason that was concerning to me is at first, like I said, when he said that, I was like, damn, that's pretty badass. He's never been dropped, never been hurt. But then I started thinking about it and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That's not necessarily a good thing, because my question is this, and this is what made the fight even more exciting to me. Like, it was already a good matchup on paper, but if a person's saying they've never been hurt because of their genetics, what happens if you do get buzzed in there? How are you going to react, right? And that's why we watch. I mean, obviously, when it comes to technique and just pure skill set and seasoning, I would favor Golovkin over Danny Jacobs. Not that he has a bullshit skill set, but Triple G's just a man. He knows how to set you up. He's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite person at cutting off the ring. He'll make that ring, no matter what size it is, look very small. And he just knows how to get to you. He's an underrated body puncher. He's an intelligent offensive fighter. I don't think he has much head movement, or he hasn't showed me that. Maybe the better competition might bring that out of him and he'll show exactly what he can do. But obviously, when you're that aggressive, you're going to get hit more, you know what I mean? Unless you have a slick defense. And I haven't seen, he does some shifting and stuff, but I haven't seen no finesse type of defense from him. And again, this is why I want to see him fight a guy like Danny Jacobs or Canelo, because those are fights that maybe head movement might matter. You know what I mean? You're not going to just be able to take everyone's punches. So the more I'm thinking about it, this is really exciting to me, because if he's never been hurt, I don't know how he would respond. Like, people that have been hurt before, like Floyd Mayweather, obviously, and I'm going to use him because he's the biggest star in boxing, even in retirement. Plus, everyone knows his fights, right? Because he's 20 years in the game. When Shane Mosley rocked him, he knew exactly what to do in that round 2. Reached out for dear life, bow, and he bear hugged the fuck out of Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley was getting fidgety, like get the fuck off me, get off me, trying to like wrestle him off. And Floyd held on to him like he was a old neighbor, old friend he ain't seen since the war or something. Floyd is like, nah, I'm not letting you. I'm not letting you go. Like, and that was smart, because if he got hurt twice in that round 2, if Floyd did not do that, he would have been toast, because Shane Mosley was playing no games and he was off of the Margarito stoppage. Another person with the granite chin, which I'm going to get to, right? But he know how to respond. He just accepted the fact that he clearly lost round 2. There's nothing you can do. You can't get that back. That round is gone. Like Will Smith said in Bad Boys 2. He said, so we're going to take that and we're going to bottle it and put it in the bottle and throw it into the ocean. So even you got to be motherfucking Jacques Cousteau to get. That's what Floyd did. He knew he lost the round. There's no get back unless you knock down or knock out Shane Mosley. And it's kind of hard to do when you're on Queer Street and you're rattled and buzzed like that. So just lose the round and accept that. So this fight with Golovkin and Jacobs got that much more interesting, because it's always the what if factor. What if Jacobs just clocks him clean, bow, and you've never been hurt in sparring or in a fight? Anything can happen, right? And the thing that I start thinking more and more, maybe I'm an overthinker, and I'm not saying I'm picking Jacobs, I'm not saying I'm picking Golovkin. I'll wait till my 7 reasons to predict that. But the reason why, like I said, that's not necessarily a good thing is because I've seen some of the toughest chins in boxing at some point crack or get tested, right? Brandon Rios has a hell of a chin, and he was hurt in the Mike Alvarado 2 fight. Go back, I think Pacquiao hurt him too, even though I don't think he admitted it. But I definitely know I seen Mike Alvarado hurt him late in the second fight in the rematch. Antonio Margarito, like I just said, Sugar Shane Mosley was mopping him up in LA, right? Granite chin Margarito. Cotto, he said Cotto punches like a girl, but obviously Mosley, who lost to Cotto, destroyed him, right? He almost got destroyed in the round before he got stopped. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Costa Zoo, right? I could do this off the top of my head. Think of some of the greatest chins. Evander Holyfield, a cruiserweight that went up to heavyweight and is fighting Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis. He has a chin from hell. Watch the James Toney fight with Evander Holyfield. He was hurt. He was getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, just a quick history lesson in boxing. I personally don't believe in... I believe some people are freaks of nature and freakish athletes and stuff like that, but I don't believe there's any kind of cyborgs. Lucas Matisse showed pretty tough, and I don't even think he lost. He got stopped by the guy I don't think is even the biggest puncher in the division. So, and that was Victor Postal, in case you guys don't know. I think Danny Garcia, Zab Judah, they probably crack harder than per capita than Victor Postal, but Postal had a very good game plan. Now, the big thing is, with everything that Triple G does well, can Danny Jacobs even capitalize on any of this? If he fights scared, he's mincemeat. Period. From what I've seen, you got to do stuff. Now, Triple G it's his body, so pause. I can't tell you if he has been hurt. I'm just going off of what he says. Me personally, I think I've seen fights where I thought he was hurt. It looked like he was hurt to me. Curtis Stevens. There were sections, small sections, and this is not taking anything away from his victory, because obviously the person wasn't able to capitalize in any of these fights to get him up out of there. So he does have a chin, it looks like. But in the Curtis Stevens fight, he got backed up, and it does not look like he likes getting hit hard like that. Same thing with Kell Brook. I noticed he almost became like belligerent and frantic trying to get his work off and his offense off. He was like he was fighting to try to like destroy or kill Kell Brook. After Kell Brook was using some swift movement, landing, bobbing his head up with bow, bow, bow uppercuts. But post-fight, he said Kell Brook didn't hurt him. Again, it's his body, but from what I seen, it didn't look like he liked it. I'm not saying he was out cold, about to get knocked, but it didn't look like he was liking those solid flush punches from either of those guys. David Lemieux never really got no work off on Triple G, even though he's an immense puncher. He let Triple G get in such a rhythm with that jab, and Triple G just broke him down. Body shot, jab, hard. Triple G's jab is the power punch. You know what I mean? He's that strong. So bottom line is, this is an interesting fight, March 18th. This is not a prediction video, but I'm definitely looking forward to it if he's never been hurt, because what happens on that mythical day when you do get hurt and you don't have your legs fully up under you, how do you respond? We know Jacobs has been hurt because he's been stretched and knocked out. We've seen him knocked down by Sergio Mora. So sometimes those little like nuances can play a factor, but ultimately skills pay the bills. Jacobs, this is not an easy fight for him. He has to be able to get his work off, not fight scared, find some kind of way to back Triple G up without getting into a rhythm. Like, Lemieux put up a dud to me. I thought based on the power he has, if he would have went for broke early, like, and just try to really catch Triple G with something, I really think there's certain people in certain divisions that you're not taking their punches flush. It is what it is. Like, even Jose Pedraza, I heard he had never been hurt or stopped or knocked down or anything, and he just got knocked out by Tank Davis. Now, clearly I'm not comparing, for all you idiots on here, hey, what do you mean Pedraza and fucking Triple G's way better? I'm not comparing that. I'm just saying he was in with the inexperienced 22-year-old who stopped him, even though he had never been stopped. Again, I'm not comparing Triple G and his abilities to Pedraza's abilities. I'm just giving you guys an example, because that's what I do on my channel, right? I know I gotta talk like I'm talking to a 3-year-old sometimes, because sometimes you guys try to switch my words in the comment section. But this is a damn good fight. The number 1 and number 2 person. And again, what do you do when you get hurt and you've never been hurt? Like, you know what I mean? Tank Davis started hitting Pedraza with shots and he didn't see him coming and he started breaking down. Like, what are you gonna do then? But to Triple G's credit, he has like 350 plus Emmys. So maybe he knows exactly what to do. Maybe this is just what you obviously don't want to show chinks in your armor. You want to have a poker face. So maybe he's just saying that. Maybe he really has been hurt and he's just telling the camera, "No, I've been hurt," to keep the legend alive. So Jacobs doesn't think shit is sweet. I don't know. I just thought this was worthy of a video, and just to let you guys know, I'm definitely checking for this fight, March 18th, because when you have that type of power in the gloves of 2 fighters, you never know. The same thing with David Lemieux, Curtis Stevens. That's too much power. I feel like someone has to go to sleep in that particular fight. That's just how I see. But I do know from all of my years of watching boxing, which is a lifetime of boxing on some level, right? I know there's certain people that you're not, like Julian Jackson. You're not just gonna take flush shots and accept it. You know what I mean? Like Mayorga, he was baiting, and like Vernon Forrest, for whatever reason, he was able to take his punches, but the guy Vernon Forrest nearly stopped, Shane Mosley, stopped him. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to just be able to play around and like get hit and walk through shit. Like Anthony Joshua, Klitschko, whoever, I don't think they could just walk through all of Deontay Wilder's hardest shots and just be cool. And then vice versa. Deontay Wilder, I don't think he could just walk through Joshua's hardest flush shots. He's gonna have to have some kind of defense to that or whatever. These guys pack too much of a punch to just walk through shit. That's just my opinion. So Triple G claims he's never been hurt. Link in the description. Let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely tuning in. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.